When creating our preliminary task, we were given little time to plan our film and therefore it was not as successful as it could have been. The location, our school hall, had a negative impact on the verisimilitude of our preliminary task, as did the costumes worn by our actors. Also, the plot for our preliminary task is unrealistic and hard to understand, I think. So, when producing our opening to a thriller film, we were given a lot of time to plan it. So firstly, we researched the thriller genre, analysing the conventions present in the opening to a thriller film. Each of us came up with 3 initial ideas which we presented in various forms. And then as a group we then worked together to combine the best of these ideas to produce one final idea. We then created our storyboard, which explains in detail the mise-en-scene present in each shot, the type of shot taking place, the type of lighting and sound used, the duration of the shot and the transition between each shot. Location planning then took place, in which we decided which location would be most appropriate for each shot we needed to film. Finally we produced our animatic and gathered feedback on it so that any weaknesses that were found within it could be improved upon when producing our real thriller opening. Detailed planning then took place before we began filming our thriller opening, and it was extremely helpful when producing our thriller as we knew exactly what we needed to do, which is it's unlike to when we were producing our preliminary task. And then we were really organised and used our time well when we were doing the real thing.
We have learnt a lot about editing since our preliminary task. In our preliminary task we had lots of mistakes in continuity editing, and since then we've learned and just practiced it more. We feel that the match on action present in our preliminary task was very successful and aim to use it again successfully in our thriller opening. In our preliminary task during editing, we changed the contrast of one shot to another, and we changed it to black and white, to, hoping it'd make it more successful, but the contrast, you could tell it wasn't real and it was really unsuccessful. So in the real thing we used effects like vendetta and fog. So you could tell it's a dream because it's more hazy, but it's still the same kind of picture, so it looks more real. During the editing of our thriller we added a soundtrack to the scene to increase tension present, which we didn't do in the preliminary task. And in our preliminary task we changed our short straight or jump ones, jump cuts, whilst in the editing of the thriller opening we added transitions to make them more smooth. We have learnt a lot about camera work since our preliminary task. In our preliminary task we used 180-degree rule successfully. When filming the bathroom scene of our thriller opening, I feel that we used it once again successfully. Honey? We felt that the other over-the-shoulder shot that is used in our preliminary task was effective and decided to use it again in the thriller opening. Since our preliminary task, we have become more confident using a variety of techniques and shots during filming. In our thriller opening we have used point of view shots, close-up shots, medium shots, zoom and panning. Techniques that did not appear in our preliminary task. During our progression to our final product we have also learnt about light. The 3-point lighting technique, unknown to us during the production of our preliminary task, allows us to create shadow and a 3D effect and change the tone of shots during the filming of our thriller opening. From the progression of our preliminary task to our final product, we have learnt to use lots of equipment.
We now feel confident in using a camera,
a tripod,
lighting and lighting effects,
Photoshop,
Computer.
And editing software.
We feel that our final product is successful. We have fulfilled the task that we were asked to carry out, to produce the titles and opening of a new thriller film to last a maximum of 2 minutes. The conventions of a thriller film are present in our final product, and we feel that we have made the genre of our film clear through the plot, music and lighting present in our film. Whilst the editing of our opening was mostly successful, we do feel that some of our camera work could be improved on. And we also feel that the opening to our thriller should have been more fast-paced, and that the plot should have been clearer to an audience.